Cruisin the Coast. What a fantastic view we have here atop the little stage with the iconic SuperTalk Mississippi tent above us, providing a little much-needed shade today. But these vehicles are certainly beautiful, and the crowds are unbelievable down here. Joining us now, Judy Young, Executive Director of Coastal Mississippi, and Jimmy Ladner, President of Coastal Mississippi Board of Commissioners. Judy and Jimmy, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Another great Cruisin the Coast.
Absolutely.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Every year they say this is the best year ever, and we just wait on the next year to make it better.
I think Rob Sigler just told us we have folks who have entered vehicles from all but 2 states, I believe.
48 states and a couple of foreign countries. Canada and England are both represented here as well.
That's incredible. USA Today, Judy, says that this is the best car show in the country.
Well, I'm glad they reaffirmed what we already knew. No, it's fantastic. It is. Where I've not been, I grew up in gearhead family, and so I've not been anywhere where they do actually cruise.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, it's not just a static event.
Yeah.
To move that many folks throughout a 62-mile area in 3 counties and get the same hospitality, coastal characters, and some terms of endearment for everybody. It's amazing.
Yeah. So Highway 90, of course, is where the cars are driving about, traveling. And it's interesting because you got spectators that are set up on the sidewalk in the green area in front of the structures on the beach side. Well, both sides, but it's really interesting that they're on the beach side, and they're just waiting to see those cars come by.
Without doubt.
It's incredible, isn't it?
I drove over from Bay St. Louis this morning to get here, and there's people would actually, they have signs made up, cool cars and stuff like that. So it's pretty
They're
neat.
doing their own little grading,
They're doing their own little grading,
they're storing it.
Yeah.
That's really cool. These enthusiasts, they work on these vehicles constantly. It's almost a daily effort, a daily task. And you can tell that because when they show up here, even though they're 50, 60 years old, they look like they just rolled off the showroom yesterday. That's incredible, Judy.
It takes some care and keeping and some mechanical know-how to keep these running and beautiful. And I hear them talk all the time about how'd you do this, how'd you do that. Well, I welded this into this guy. And so that's always amazing to me. But I think what I would love, and I've never seen the number, is what is the estimated value of the total of the entries?
Yeah.
That would be an awakening, I think, of a number.
That's an interesting data point. So I think Rob Sigler just told us 9,000 entered, I believe. Is that
9,000 entered, and they project around 20% more that don't register for whatever reason.
That's unbelievable.
Yes.
That just show up and don't register.
Just show up and don't register.
So another 1,800 or so over 10,000. 10,000.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's incredible that they're and they've got to be at least put in production before 1989 is what Rob told us is the criteria to enter. It's amazing that there are that many of those vehicles that are still in that kind of condition to show at an event like this.
Without doubt.
That's incredible.
Well, and you can still find the parts.
Yeah, exactly. I bet a lot of those folks figure out a way to machine and fabricate their parts. I doubt you can find a lot of that stuff, commercially available. So what about the economic impact to the Gulf Coast, Judy?
Well, it's a $36 million economic impact in basically 6 days, maybe 7.
Incredible.
A lot of people come the week prior, but they also put another $3 million into the state economic impact. So we have communities across Mississippi who look forward to this time frame where they have the classic cars that some way and somehow are still roadworthy enough for them to be driven from states away. The Canadian folks drove 3 days to get here.
Incredible.
So they're stopping all the way down, making an impact across the state.
Yeah, spending money. I see them up in central Mississippi. I noted a few just when I was out and about this weekend, staying in the hotels in central Mississippi. You see the vehicles parked usually in tow. Classic vehicles parked out there. Of course, I'm like a kid shooting pictures. Well, it's a 1971 Coupe de Ville, one I saw. It was just gorgeous, beautiful condition. Jimmy, tell us what's going on with the Coastal Mississippi Board of Commissioners. Any big tasks you guys are working on at this point?
Well, our job is to get people here, put beds in heads so we can generate revenue to put more beds in heads next year.
Yeah.
We're very fortunate. We have a 15-member commission that works extremely well together, made up of members from Hancock, Harrison, and Jackson County. It's a prime example of when you work together, things work well.
Yeah.
So our big thing is to provide the resources that our great staff needs to continue doing the job they're doing. And I think events like this and other events and the numbers that we are putting together with occupancies and stuff like that are showing that they're doing what they're supposed to do, and we're going to continue to give them what they need to do that.
Jimmy, I wonder if someone's thinking about starting a business and they come to an event like this and they see the attendance and they see the exchange of economic activity, if that maybe doesn't push them over and persuade them, I think this would be a pretty good place to set up shop.
Oh, I think it would be. And I think this is just one example, though it is the shining example of the success of the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Yeah.
You can come down here on any given weekend and see the same thing happen.
Yeah. So, of course, a big part of the economy down here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast is the hospitality and the gaming industry. What do you hear and what kind of feedback are you getting from them, Judy, about just how they're doing right now?
We're doing really well, and last year actually the total visitor spend was $2.7 billion.
Wow.
Visitor spend.
That's incredible.
So, that was up over $6 million from the year prior, which was outstanding considering the challenges of fuel prices, economy, inflation, few political issues.
Yep.
So I think that what people are really looking for is an authentic experience with some great hospitality. The fact that we have kind of the hospitality element of it nailed puts us way ahead of other destinations, and we have a great range for people to be able to experience.
No doubt. Jimmy, I can't help but recall 2005.
Yes.
And right where we're sitting, what that looked like. I think I've shared before, my wife's from Biloxi, grew up in a house on Holly Street, not far from where we are right here. And it was completely dismantled by the storm. And just looking down Highway 90 at that point, I remember looking at, I think it's Casino Magic that was, you remember that, on the other side of Highway 90.
Absolutely.
And look at this place now. It's unbelievable.
And this place is like this from one end of the coast to the other.
Yeah.
Today, for example, we have an event in Waveland. Waveland's come back to Cruisin the Coast, so that makes it a complete coast-wide event. We're seeing constant interest in the coast from Hancock to Jackson County. I know there's a big project in Waveland that's fixing to take place that's tourism-related that I can't really say a lot about. I can tell you it's about $16 million,
Wow.
but other than that, I can't tell you that. So we've come a long way since that thing rolled ashore in August of 2005. But Mississippi Gulf Coast people and Mississippi people as a whole are resilient. So we built back. We built back stronger. We built back better. And with the leadership that we have here and at state level, I can see that continuing.
I think the big thing, Judy, is that I don't think anybody left. I think folks were determined to rebuild and to stay here. Like Jimmy said, coast people, Mississippians in general, are just a resilient sort, and they wanted to build it back better, and I think mission accomplished.
They did a great job, and that's really what is kind of the baseline for all the success. When you have 6-7 generations that have truly invested in an area, and then their children and grandchildren, it's now at a point that the investment has led to them not needing to leave to go and find a job somewhere else. They can go to school, do what they'd like, and stay in this area. And when generational investment with the openness of accepting those that are new to the community, that just floors me, because it doesn't necessarily happen that way.
It's unbelievable.
Places.
So, Jimmy, when you think about what creates a high quality of life, you got to look at all the elements of life on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. You got great schools, you got great health care, you got great infrastructure, great community leadership, fantastic neighborhoods, churches, etc., a diverse culture. I mean, you got all the above.
We've got everything it takes here to be successful, and we've got everybody pulling in the same direction. The one coast is truly a one coast thing here, and this region of the state demonstrates what can go on and what can happen when you work as a team and work together towards a common goal.
Totally agree. And, Judy, we'll catch this on the other side of the break. But there are a lot of folks that come in here for this event and say, I think I want to live here maybe, right?
There are.
We'll talk about that when we come back. We've got Judy Young, Executive Director of Coastal Mississippi, and Jimmy Ladner, President of the Coastal Mississippi Board of Commissioners. We're in the Element Wealth Studios at Cruisin the Coast on the beautiful Mississippi Gulf Coast. And we're parallel to Highway 90, watching all these classic vehicles travel down the road, and folks are taking them in, and we're just having a good old time. We're visiting with Judy Young, Executive Director of Coastal Mississippi, and Jimmy Ladner, President of Coastal Mississippi Board of Commissioners. So, Judy, we were just talking off the air there about noticing the large number of young folks here that are taking in the experience, and you said it's because they're on fall break.
They are, and I think it's such a great step for car enthusiasts to be able to bring their younger folks out and try to light that fire of passion for taking care of dad's car or mom's car. I've seen quite a few that said that. One of them yesterday said Jenny's ride on the front license plate. So not just gentlemen with these nice cars. There's a lot of ladies out there.
And the cool thing, Jimmy, is these are almost exclusively American-made vehicles.
Without a doubt. I mean, you walk through here, you see very, very few foreign cars here.
And this was, of course, from the golden era of the American automobile manufacturing industry. And, wow, so much innovation we see through that industry, and with annual model changes. I just bought a new vehicle and from Turan Foley. I've been trading with Turan Foley. I have a connection there for, I think 20 years. And I got in that vehicle, and it took the rep about 45 minutes to show me how to operate everything. And then I had to go home and watch a bunch of YouTube videos.
Yeah, you're right. I was looking at the Chevrolet truck over here. I had a 70 was my first vehicle, just about like it. And it's air conditioned, heater, and an AM/FM radio, and that's it. So,
well, this deal has a Super Cruise on it, not just a cruise, but a Super Cruise. So it's got a little light that's embedded in the steering wheel at the top, like the top third, and on the steering column there's a little camera. And when you set to Super Cruise, it's hands off. It drives itself. It will change lanes. It will adjust the speed up and down based on the cruise you've set it to. And so I set it on that when I bought the vehicle. I was headed back home on Highway 49, and it got to an area where it couldn't triangulate. And so it said, grab the wheel. And the green light in the steering wheel goes red at that point. So, and what it also does is senses whether or not you're looking at the road. Mm-hmm. So if you take your eyes off, it'll say grab the wheel. So even though you don't have to have your hands on the wheel, it's not quite totally autonomous. You still got to be ready, to take over. But that's the kind of technology, and this is all American innovation, and it all started with these vehicles back in this era, which don't have that kind of stuff on them. But man, they sure are beautiful specimens and fun to drive and fun to look at.
Without doubt, fine examples of American ingenuity.
Unbelievable. I see these. This looks like a 55 or 56 Chevrolet with the hood open over here to our left. That's kind of in the two-tone with sort of a lemon yellow and a white. I mean, those were just your average family vehicles back in the 55, 56, 57. Probably get them for $750 back then.
Bunch of Bel Airs, huh?
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
And when you look at those things, you look like in the hood there, it's mostly air. It's not like a modern vehicle. You pull the hood up, you just go, oh my gosh, I'm closing this thing. You're so jam-packed with so much stuff in there.
A lot of room under those hoods.
I had a 68 Carmen Ghia, saved up my pennies, and bought $800, right? And it didn't run, but my brother showed me how to start it with a screwdriver. So
truly is incredible, but it's neat that these enthusiasts preserve all this history, and I hope they continue to do this. This is our Judy, it's our 27th annual, right?
It is.
Cruisin the Coast.
It is. I think, Jimmy, how many cars did they start with?
374
when they started out.
374 to 9,000, maybe over 10,000 when you count the ones that are here that didn't formally register. That's incredible. That just shows you what a big deal this is, and more importantly, just how much fun people are having. This is just the American experience. Come out here and have fun.
They're having a great time. I hope that they catch the fever and head over to the Vicari auction, where you too can own your own classic car.
How cool is that? So give us a schedule, Judy, for the week. We're kicking off today, right?
We kick off today, and then they're going to have events in every single city during Thursday and Friday, and then Saturday is the cruise.
Okay.
Where they have their locations. They go up and down the coast and the 3 counties, so you get a little flavor of every region within coastal Mississippi.
Beach Boys too, right?
Beach Boys, the Molly Ringwalds.
Yeah.
There's a big concert over at the Pearl, Scarlet Pearl, I think tonight, and it was there last night. They kicked off in Long Beach yesterday. Wow. It's going to be a jam-packed weekend. You can be anywhere on the coast and find something fantastic to look at and fantastic to eat. And
fantastic to hear, because those are the big name bands, but every venue in every community has music and entertainment going on, just about the whole thing.
Judy, Jimmy, thanks for coming on. Congratulations on another fantastic Cruisin the Coast. Appreciate you guys coming on. Thank you.
Thank you, Gerard.
We're stepping aside for a break right here, folks. It's top of the hour. That means Fox News Super Talk News.